Today, on Air Power, the Iran-Israel war is causing headaches for air travelers around the world. Hey, it's me. Welcome to today's Air Power. More than 100 flights have now been canceled or diverted. Iranian-backed Houthi rebels launched drone and missile attacks against Israeli and American targets. While thankfully, no commercial aircraft have been hit so far, the chaos caused by these attacks is wreaking havoc with flight operations throughout the Middle East and beyond. In response to the growing threat, Israel has closed its airspace to all civilian traffic, which means that any plane headed to or from Israel is being forced to reroute, causing widespread delays and cancellations. For example, as of about 1400 UTC on November 6th, over 50 flights to Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion Airport had been canceled, and that number is likely only going to grow as this crisis continues. But it's not just flights to and from Israel that are getting canceled due to this conflict. On November 6th, Emirates Airlines announced that they were suspending all flights to and from Tel Aviv indefinitely. And they're not alone. Air India has also suspended all flights to Israel for the time being, but even flights that are UND directly to or from Israel are still getting canceled due to the knock-on effects of Israel as closure of its airspace. For example, a Turkish Airlines flight from Istanbul to Hanoi in Vietnam was canceled after the plane and its passengers were stuck in limbo for hours, while the crew raced against the clock to get back to Turkey before their legally mandated rest periods expired. The situation is made even more complicated by the fact that many flights that are being canceled are part of multi-leg trips. So if you're on a trip that includes a flight to Israel, even if you're not actually flying into Tel Aviv or one of Israel's other airports, your entire trip is now up in the air, and you could be out of luck finding another way to get to your final destination. To make matters worse, this conflict comes at a time when air traffic is already at a high volume. With Thanksgiving right around the corner, many Americans are hitting the skies to spend time with their families. But thanks to this conflict, many of them are going to be spending the holiday with their feet grounded firmly on the ground. So, how long will these disruptions last? Well, that's impossible to say at this point. The situation is still very fluid, and it is possible that things could get even worse before they get better. As of right now, there's no indication that the Houthi rebels are going to stop their attacks anytime soon, and that means that Israel has no choice but to keep its airspace closed until it is confident that its citizens are safe from these attacks. But even once the immediate danger is past, it's possible that the damage to the aviation industry will be long-lasting. Many airlines are already feeling the financial effects of this conflict, with some losing millions of dollars per day, and it's possible that airfares will rise as a result. Now, we know that this conflict isn't doing anything positive for the average person, but if you're someone who loves planes, there is one silver lining to all of this. With so many flights canceled and diverted, there are now thousands of planes just sitting on the tarmac. And that means that if you head down to your local airport, you might get a chance to see some really cool planes that you would normally get a chance to see. For example, a Twitter user posted pictures of a U.S. Air Force C-17 Globemaster and an RC-135 rivet joint at an airport in Germany, and a Twitter user posted pictures of a B-52 Strata Fortress and a KC-135 Strata tanker at an airport in the United Kingdom. Of course, seeing military planes at your local airport should be cause for celebration, but do remember that these planes are only there because their civilian counterparts cooey and flying to Israel right now. And that means that the people who are supposed to be on those planes probably are young having such a good time. And that's why today, Air Power is dedicated to everyone who has been affected by this conflict, especially the innocent civilians who have been caught in the middle. We hope that you and your loved ones stay safe during this difficult time. Thank you for watching today's Air Power, and I hope you have a great day.